Okay, so this video is going to be explaining the premium a little bit more. And let's see, I'm going to use this. My fiance here decided to get these, lovely salt and pepper shakers. So we're going to use this as an exchange. So let's say this is between me and you. Okay, we'll use the Apple example. You and I'll explain everything from like talking to like a 6-year-old's too much, like 10-year-old. Okay, so you own Apple. You've owned Apple for a long time. You've made a lot of money off of Apple. You see these earnings coming out, and Apple is trading around $370 and some change or whatever. And well, this is past tense because we knew what happened. Apple blew it out of the park, and they're going to do a stock split, which I'll be posting a thread on. Anyways, but you were like, hey, oh my God, like they just went up to Congress. Holy shit, like they're grilling them. The economy was shut down. I don't know how good it's going to be. Oh, dude, Apple stock might tank like 20%. I can't afford a 20% tank because I got all my life savings in this thing. I need to buy a little bit of insurance, okay? So you say, hey, is there anyone out there that will guarantee me that they would buy my Apple shares at $350? And no matter what happens, even if Apple goes to zero because they found out there was no iPhones in the world and everything was a lie, I don't know, some crazy shit, right? So that's what you're saying. And then me and you, or I mean, let's say I kind of messed it up. Okay, let's say somebody else comes along. This would be you as the trader. Says, hey, you know what? Hey, brother, I'll take your Apple shares for $350 on or before this date. And this hypothetical date, where you can make up any date you want. Well, let's just say the 1st of August. And I'll say, yeah, man, I'll take your Apple shares at $350 no matter what happens on August 1st. And like I said, this could be any date that you want it to be. We're not going to get into the time decay and all that. Like all that's a little bit more for another video. I'm just trying to give you the basics so you understand. That's the first step, is just understanding, and then you'll develop your stuff onto it. So back to the story. Someone says, hey, I got shares in Apple and I'm scared they're going to fall because I'm uncertain about earnings. And someone says, hey, I just need to insure myself. It's trading at 370. I don't want to drop below 350. I put too much time and energy and effort into building this position. I need to protect myself. And then so this is where you, the trader, comes along and you say, hey, bro, no matter what happens, I will buy your shares at $350, but you have to give me $3. And we're doing this on one share, which you remember, it doesn't really work with like on the price. When you're looking at the price, that's per one share, but you multiply it by 100 because you can't do it one share. It's one contract. Okay. So one contract is worth 100 shares, but I'm just trying to do it per share price, and we'll just multiply by 100. Okay. So someone says, okay, bro, you're going to share my Apple shares up. Here's $3. So they give me $3. I hold that money and I say, hey, no matter what, I will buy your Apple shares at $350 on August 1st. But now we're like, oh, fuck, like, wait a minute. If this thing goes to zero, we're going to be on the hook for, $350. We only made $3. What the hell is going on here? Like, that's a lot of risk to take because you're like, well, dude, I don't know. Apple's getting kind of crazy, but China, like, well, what if it does go to zero? Well, this is why you have to hedge. So it's kind of like a whole pyramid options chain that's built. So then we find somebody else says, hey, I need you to insure me these Apple shares that no matter what happens, you have to buy them at $345. And someone else comes along and says, hey, brother, yeah, you know what? No matter what, I'll buy your Apple shares at $345 on August 1st, no matter what. But the goal here is we collected $3, right? $3 from here. We want to give him or her less than $3. So he says, hey, $2. Deal, buddy. So now we're right in the middle. Ta-ta, we made that dollar, right? We told this guy, no matter what happens, we'll buy it at $350. And we told this guy, no matter what, you have to buy it at $345, right? We're in the middle. We collected $3 here. We sold it for $2, so that's $1, right? We made $1 profit, but we're taking on a $5 risk, right? $350 to $345. $5, but you got to minus that dollar because that's in our pocket. We're really on the risk for $4 here. So August 1st rolls around, and as long as Apple closes above $350, we made that dollar. If Apple closes, at $350 exactly, we still keep that dollar, because why would he want to exercise that option when, you know, it's at that price. Now, the next day after that option, it can go to zero. It doesn't matter. We're only insuring them to that date. Now, if Apple goes all the way to, and on this trade, you would start losing once it goes below $349, right? Because they ate your dollar in profit. So anything after that, you're assuming that risk up until, bam, it hits that 345. So if it blows past it, if it goes to $340, well, then it doesn't matter. You only lost that $4. So that $1 is one contract. You made one contract. So that $1 will be times 100. You made $100. And all this on the TD Ameritrade app, there's a site that's called PIM, and that's probability in the money. So there's a whole algorithm, and I'm sure, you probably don't remember now, but back in either, in not even college, in high school, we had that probabilities chart, like this little thing, and then it goes boom, and then you have the probability of this thing happening versus the probability. That's all this is. It's a mathematical system, and it's evaluated on the movement of the price and a bunch of other stuff. But basically, when you're trading on there, it shows you, hey, you have about a 10% chance of being right, or a 20%, and you bet accordingly, right? And you hedge yourself accordingly. This theory did make, or this trading strategy did make a lot of people a lot of money, especially when volatility is low. And what volatility is volume. When a bunch of people are trading, like in one stock, let's say like Apple has like 1 million shares. It has a lot more than 1 million shares, by the way, but it's trading like crazy every day. The price could go from here to here. So it's very, very hard to make money selling premium, because you're like, oh my God, it's not hard. Actually, it's better, because premium is more, because you're taking on more risk because of the uncertainty. And when volume is low and there's not a lot of people trading, then you could really place bets, and it's a lot easier. And you might ask yourself, why doesn't everyone do this? Because it's not sexy. All right, we all saw just that day, the same day that I met a bet and I made money off of, and I'm trading with a little bit more cash, not like bragging or anything. I'm just saying, I'm able to take on 10, 20 contracts, but you might only be able to take on 3 or 4 or 5 contracts, which is still great. But like we said, the same time I made those bets on Facebook and Apple, because I was like, I don't think they're going to go down, and the probability, and I ranged them so low, I could have made a lot more money if I would have been closer to what the price was actually trading at, but I didn't want to take that risk. And that's the thing. It's not that sexy, but it's a good way for you to make, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a day. Not joking. It's a good way for you to make anywhere from, roughly, if you're a smaller account, if you have like $5,000, you could walk away with making an easy $200-300 a week doing the strategy. Sometimes maybe even $100 a week doing the strategy, but no one wants to do it. They're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I got to sit there and I got to wait. And your chances are a lot higher, but you're making such little money. You're only making, $50, $80, $100, but it's guaranteed as could be. I mean, there's still a risk that Apple could have, and I would have been like all sad face, but everybody wants the Kodak play. That's my whole thing. Everyone's like, oh bro, screw that. Let me jump in on this real quick, or this Nikolai, and let me turn this $1,000 to 2,000 real quick. Why am I going to wait 2 months to turn that 1,000 into 2,000? You know what I mean? It's the impatience game. So this is one way to make it, and it's something that I've been doing now for a while. I've had success on it. Every time I've tried the strategy, I've had success on it, but I am guilty as charged. I am one of those, Wall Street bet degenerates that just love to every now and then be like, screw it, I'm going to take a $3,000, $4,000 gamble. And then I get hit, and then I'm all sad. Then I go back to the strategy, then I build it back up, and then I'm like, oh, I want to take a gamble again. But, for me, I'm playing with about, $5,000 and fun money in a sense. I have that to the side where I'm like, if I see a bet that I really, really like, I'll take the bet. But if not, mostly I try to play it as safe as I can, But do as I say, not as I do, kind of thing, So I hope this video kind of broke it down a little bit more and helped you understand it. Basically, to wrap it all up again, layman's terms, you're just selling insurance, man. You're just telling somebody, hey, bro, I will buy your shares at this price, at this time, and you have to pay me this amount of money. Then you turn around and say, I need to cover my ass because if this goes to zero, I'm scared. And you tell somebody else hey, well, you have to buy my stuff. So let's say you got $3, you know, because you said, hey, I'll buy your shares at this price at this time, and someone says done deal, and they pay you $3. You want to protect yourself by, you know, $1 or $2 below, pay somebody $1 or $2, you know, keep as much of this $3 as you can, and then you take the risk that's in between. And as long as it never goes below this price, you're good. And that's called selling put premium. So a put means, you know, the stock's going down. You also do the same strategy when it's going up, where you say, hey, if your stock gets this high, you take the opposite side of the call option, right? So you say, hey, if the, you know, let's say for example, you're like, no way Apple is going to get to $400, it's trading at $385. You're like, hey, if Apple gets to $400, I'll pay you, I'll buy your shares at $400 and above. And someone pays you, you know, $2 or whatever it is. And if Apple never gets there, you get to keep the money. And if it does get there, well, then you're on the hook. So you better buy something above you that takes off that risk. It's the same type of strategy, but it's a different way to play. And it allows you to use a fraction of the price to pay 100 shares, right? For example, I did the trade on Apple. Apple's, you know, roughly a $400 stock. So 100 shares of Apple is like what, like 40 grand? And I'm able to make a play on Apple with $200 or $300. So you get what I'm saying? It's a different way to leverage your money to make bets on what you think is going to happen. So hey guys, you know, I hope this helped. I mean, please DM me if you still don't understand or you're still kind of confused about the selling put premium. Okay. And if you are, hey, no worries. I plan on, I have a lot of stuff coming up here, you know, life-changing stuff here coming up in the next couple of weeks. But hopefully, once everything settles down, I'm looking at hopefully the end of August, or maybe even mid-September. Whenever I got time, guys, I'll let you guys know way ahead of time. I'll post it 2 or 3 times in my story, and maybe I'll make a post on it to let you know when I'm setting up like a Skype or a Zoom or something like that. So anyone who's interested, you know, we could talk one-on-one. I'll get a room of like 10 or 20 of us in there, and we could just talk about, you know, how to set this up and how this works. And then, you know, I don't know, just something else you guys are working on. So half the people following me are my good friends anyway. So anyways, I appreciate you guys' time. If you like this video, share it with one person to help me grow the account. All right, have a good weekend.